Aliens called for help, and only humanity came. Yet even in peace, danger could come without warning. The aliens called it the Shadow Force. It was unseen, unknown, and deadly. Entire worlds vanished overnight. Cities, populations, even oceans and mountains were destroyed as if they had never existed. The galaxy's leaders were afraid, but most thought it was someone else's problem. On the planet Verida, Elder Tala watched the horizon of her city. The sky was red from fires, and ash fell like rain. She had lived for nearly 200 cycles, enough to see many wars, yet nothing like this. The Shadow Force had destroyed Verida's neighboring world in a single day. They had no warning, no time to fight. She knew Verida could be next. Tala gathered her council in the Grand Hall, a dome made of glowing crystals. Commander 7, a tall alien with blue skin and silver markings, spoke first. "We have tried sending calls. The galaxy ignores us. No empire is willing to help. They say this is beyond them." Tala's eyes narrowed. "If we do not act, there will be no one left to hear our call. We must try again, even if all others refuse." 7 shook his head. "We have exhausted all channels. The signal is out, but none respond. Our scouts report that most empires do not even acknowledge us. We are alone." Tala did not answer immediately. She closed her eyes and listened to the silence of the hall. She could feel the fear in the air, heavy and suffocating. Then she spoke softly, but her voice carried strength. "If no one answers, we will find someone who will." Far away on Earth, humanity was busy with its own troubles. Wars had ended long ago, but nations still fought for resources and influence. Technology had advanced, but humans were far from united. Still, humanity had a habit of acting when others could not. On a large space station orbiting Earth, Captain Alex Carter monitored deep space communications. He was a man in his late 40s, with gray streaks in his dark hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. Beside him, Lisa Brown, a young communications officer, adjusted her screens. She was quick, precise, and had a curiosity that often led her to unexpected discoveries. Suddenly, the station's receivers picked up an unusual signal. It was unlike anything human technology had seen before. The pattern was complex yet repetitive, almost like a message. Lisa leaned closer. "Captain, this is not from any human source. It's structured, deliberate." "It's calling out," Alex frowned. "Call out to whom?" "We don't know yet," Lisa replied, her voice tinged with excitement and fear. "It's in a format that I think it's meant to travel the galaxy. It's a distress call." Alex rubbed his chin. He had heard rumors of alien civilizations, but no one had ever proven contact beyond their own solar system. He took a deep breath. "Alert the Council. We need to decode this. If it is real, we may be the only ones who can respond." Back on Verida, Tala and 7 watched the stars. Their sensors had picked up a faint reply from a faraway world. It was small, almost invisible, but it carried a pattern of recognition. The reply came from humans, a species they had only heard of in legends. No one in the galaxy expected Earth to answer. Most thought humanity would be too small, too weak, too busy with its own problems to help. Yet the humans had sent a reply. The Council on Verida was shocked. "Humans?" one of the younger members whispered. "They are not known for their power. Why would they help?" Tala smiled faintly. "Because humans have something the rest of the galaxy lacks. They do not give up when others turn away. They act when it is needed, not when it is easy." Meanwhile, on Earth, the government held emergency meetings. Dr. Kevin Hall, a scientist who specialized in deep space communications, explained the situation to the world leaders. "We have intercepted a distress signal from another galaxy. The species sending it faces extinction. Other galactic powers refuse to help. If we do nothing, they will be wiped out. We are the only ones willing to answer." The room fell silent. Some leaders were skeptical. Senator Lewis, a conservative politician, shook his head. "Why should we risk human lives for beings we have never met? They are not our responsibility." Kevin looked him in the eye. "Sometimes leadership is not about convenience. It is about doing what is right, even when it is dangerous. If we ignore this, who else will answer?" Alex Carter was called in to give his opinion. He stood tall, his uniform neat, his expression calm. "If humanity does not act now, these species will die. And I can guarantee this, if the galaxy is watching, they will remember who did not answer. We cannot ignore this call." The decision was made. Earth would respond. Ships were prepared, crews were trained, and supplies gathered. It was not a large fleet by galactic standards, but it was humanity. What they lacked in numbers, they made up for with courage, adaptability, and determination. As the humans left their solar system, the crew looked out at the stars. Alex spoke to his officers. "Remember, we do not fight for glory. We fight to help those who cannot help themselves. No one else came. We will not fail." Pilot Nate Parker grinned from his cockpit. "I like our chances. We always seem to surprise everyone." Engineer Emma Ross laughed softly. "Let's just hope the aliens survive long enough for us to get there." Back on Verida, Tala and Seven watched as human ships crossed the galaxy at a speed unmatched by most other civilizations. She felt hope for the first time in many cycles. "They are coming," she whispered, "and maybe, just maybe, they will save us." The journey would be long and dangerous. Humans had never fought in alien space before, and the Shadow Force was unknown and deadly. Yet humanity moved forward not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. The universe had cried for help, and Earth had answered. In the silence of the cosmos, a message continued to travel. It carried a warning and a plea. It was the call of the desperate, and it was answered by the most unlikely of heroes, humanity. As the first human ships approached the edge of the galaxy, crews felt a mix of fear and excitement. This was more than exploration. This was responsibility. Every sensor read strange readings, unknown ships, unfamiliar energy patterns. Lisa Brown adjusted her scanner, eyes wide. "Captain, we are detecting movement, and it's not friendly," Alex nodded. "Stand ready, we cannot hesitate. We are here to protect no matter the cost." The Shadow Force had not noticed them yet. The humans were small in numbers but strong in will. The galaxy would soon learn that humanity acted when no one else dared, and that sometimes being underestimated was the greatest advantage. And so humanity crossed the stars, carrying hope for those who had none, stepping into a conflict that no one else would touch. Prepared to face dangers the galaxy had never imagined, the human fleet moved slowly through the alien galaxy. Each ship was sturdy, built for survival rather than beauty. Their shapes were simple, their engines practical, and yet there was something about them that made the alien observers uneasy. Elder Tala watched from the bridge of Verida's central station. She had expected others to ignore their call, but these humans had come. She did not understand them, yet she felt a strange confidence in their arrival. Commander Seven frowned. "They are few, hardly a match for the Shadow Force. Why would they even try?" Tala shook her head. "Numbers do not always decide battles. Sometimes will and courage matter more than technology." As the humans approached, Captain Alex Carter and his crew prepared for first contact. Their scanners showed the alien city below, its buildings tall and glowing. Lisa Brown at her station analyzed the energy patterns. "Captain, the city's defenses are active. They are ready to welcome or attack us." Alex nodded. "Let's hope it is the first. Open a communication channel." A beam of light shot up from the city. The signal was strange but clear enough for humans to understand. A holographic figure appeared in front of them. It was Elder Tala herself. She looked tall and graceful, her skin pale blue and glowing faintly under the light of her city. Her eyes studied the human ships with caution. "Humans," she said, her voice calm but firm. "You have come across the stars to answer our call. Why do you come? No other empire has. We expected nothing." Alex stepped forward in the hologram. "We come because we must. Your call for help was heard, and we will not ignore it. We are not the largest or the strongest, but we will fight to protect you." Tala's eyes narrowed. She had heard words before, promises from allies that never materialized. Yet there was something in Alex's voice and the determination of these humans that felt different. Seven whispered to Tala, "They are simple. Their technology is crude. Even if they try, they will fall quickly." Tala considered his words. "Perhaps. But they have something the others lack. Let us observe before we judge." The humans landed small scout ships near Verida's orbit. Pilot Nate Parker guided his ship with precision, marveling at the alien skies and strange energy patterns. Engineer Emma Ross monitored the engines, making small adjustments to keep the ship steady. Everything was unfamiliar, yet humans adapted quickly. They had crossed the galaxy, survived storms of radiation, and navigated unknown space. Adapting here was just another step. On the ground, alien soldiers watched the humans approach. Most of them had never seen humans before. They whispered among themselves. "They are so small," one said. "How can they face the Shadow Force?" Another shook his head. "I do not know, but something about them feels different. They do not fear us. They do not hesitate." Tala walked among her people, observing quietly. She noticed how humans worked together. There was no arrogance, no show of power. Every human moved with purpose, speaking in calm tones, adjusting equipment, and helping each other. It was unusual in a galaxy where pride often outweighed reason. Inside the human command ship, Alex reviewed the data from the city. They are ready to fight, but they are exhausted. We cannot waste time. We need to learn about the enemy, their movements, and their weaknesses. If we act carefully, we can protect them. Lisa studied the alien energy shields. Their defenses are strong, but not impenetrable. If we coordinate, we can create openings for them to survive the next attack. Alex nodded. Prepare the teams. We will work with the aliens, not against them. We will teach them how to fight differently, how to survive. Back on the city, Tala spoke to her council. These humans may be small in number, but they do not behave like the others. We see their courage, their careful planning, their readiness to act for the helpless. Perhaps they are the hope we needed. Commander 7 remained skeptical. Hope alone does not win battles. They could be destroyed quickly. Tala ignored him. We will watch and see. Sometimes the galaxy forgets what true courage looks like. The first joint operation began the next cycle. Humans worked with alien scouts, showing them how to use terrain, energy shields, and coordinated attacks. Pilot Nate led small teams to intercept Shadow Force scouts, while Engineer Emma adjusted alien technology to improve response times. The aliens were cautious, hesitant to follow human advice at first. We are not used to this, one alien soldier said nervously. We fight with power, not with careful planning, Nate smiled. Sometimes rushing in is the fastest way to lose. Patience and teamwork win more battles than strength alone. Slowly, the aliens began to follow human guidance. They observed how humans analyzed patterns, predicted enemy movements, and adapted quickly. It was unlike anything they had seen. Their own technology was superior in some ways, but their methods were rigid, lacking the flexibility that humans showed. Commander 7 watched from the city walls. He could not hide his surprise. They are effective. Even with small numbers, they can hold positions the Shadow Force cannot easily break. Tala nodded. And this is only the beginning. Watch and learn. Humans do not fight for themselves, they fight for others. That is their greatest strength. Over the next cycles, humans and aliens worked together to gather intelligence. Scout teams led by John Miller and Lisa Brown mapped enemy movements, while engineers like Emma and alien technicians upgraded defenses. Every operation showed the aliens that humans were not ordinary. They learned, adapted, and improved faster than anyone had expected. One evening, Tala and Alex met in the command hall. The air was tense with the knowledge of the approaching Shadow Force. Your species is unlike any we know, Tala said. You are not the strongest, not the largest, yet you act with certainty and purpose. Why? Alex smiled faintly. Humans survive because we have to. We have faced disasters, wars, and threats too big to imagine. We do not always win, but we do not give up. We act when others will not. Tala considered his words. Perhaps that is why you came when all others ignored us. You are not bound by politics or fear. Alex nodded. We respond to need, that is all. If someone calls for help, we go. We cannot ignore it. As they spoke, alien children watched from the observation deck, curious about the humans. They saw small, simple ships and strange uniforms, yet they moved with confidence. One child whispered to another, "They are not like the others. Maybe they will save us." Nate Parker flew a patrol mission with alien scouts, guiding them through asteroid fields and dangerous energy storms. He pointed out safe paths, showing how careful movement could avoid destruction. The aliens began to trust him, noticing how humans remained calm under pressure. They are fearless, one scout said quietly, yet not reckless. They think before they act. Emma adjusted the shields on a human-augmented alien craft. Our tech is simple, but it works because we plan. We do not rely only on power. We rely on skill and teamwork. Soon, the Shadow Force noticed the human presence. Small attacks began near alien outposts, probing defenses. The humans responded with precision, protecting alien settlements and giving them time to reorganize. The aliens watched in awe as humans faced danger without hesitation. Tala observed a small battle from the city. Human ships moved in patterns the aliens had never considered. They used decoys, flanking maneuvers, and coordinated energy bursts. Alien defenders began to copy these tactics, learning quickly from humans. Commander 7 admitted quietly, "I did not believe they could do this, yet they are teaching us, guiding us, and succeeding." Tala smiled. Sometimes the smallest hands can hold the greatest power if they know how to use it. As the cycles passed, humans and aliens grew closer. Mistrust gave way to cooperation, fear gave way to hope. The alien leaders began to understand why humans had come. Not for reward, not for recognition, but because they were willing to act when no one else would. Alex stood on the bridge of his command ship, looking at the alien city below. "We are here to help," he told Lisa and Nate. "We will not leave until the shadow force is gone and these people are safe. That is what humans do." Lisa nodded, her eyes scanning the stars. "And they will remember us, even if others in the galaxy forget." Tala watched from the city walls, feeling a sense of relief she had not felt for many cycles. "Perhaps this is the beginning of something new," she whispered. "The galaxy will remember humanity, for they came when no one else did." The Shadow Force had noticed their presence, but the humans did not falter. With careful planning, determination, and courage, they began to show the galaxy a new way to fight, a way where heart and will mattered as much as strength. And so, humans and aliens worked together, learning from each other. The humans taught not with pride, but with patience and action. The aliens began to understand that help could come in unexpected forms, that courage could be quiet and steady, and that even a small number of determined beings could change the course of a war. The galaxy was watching, though most of it remained unaware. Humans had arrived, not as conquerors, but as saviors, and the story of their courage was only beginning. The Shadow Force had grown stronger. Their scouts were fast and silent, striking alien outposts with sudden attacks. Most of the galaxy had ignored the crisis, leaving the alien worlds to face destruction alone. Humans had arrived, and now it was time to show what they could do. Captain Alex Carter gathered his officers in the command room of the main human ship. The room was filled with screens, maps, and data streams from alien planets. "The enemy is testing us," he said calmly. "They want to see if we are weak. We are not. We fight differently. We do not rely only on power. We use skill, planning, and teamwork." Pilot Nate Parker leaned back in his chair. "So we fight smart, not just fast?" Alex nodded. "Exactly. We protect the aliens while we hit the Shadow Force where it hurts. Every move counts. Every life matters." Engineer Emma Ross adjusted the engine outputs. "Our ships are smaller, simpler, but we can make them work better with strategy. Speed, positioning, and timing will give us the advantage." The first human-led battle began near the outer edge of Veritas system. The Shadow Force had sent a wave of ships to destroy a small alien settlement. Humans coordinated with alien defenders, giving them positions, cover, and escape routes. Nate flew his fighter alongside alien ships. "Keep tight formation. Do not rush forward." "Wait for my signal." He released small decoys that confused the enemy sensors. Alien pilots watched in surprise. Humans used tricks the galaxy rarely saw, making simple ships seem dangerous. Alex monitored the battle from the command ship. He gave calm, clear orders. "Now, Emma, fire the energy pulses in sequence. Mark the enemy ships that are distracted. Engage the others in pairs." The aliens followed, and the plan worked perfectly. Shadow Force ships were forced to retreat after losing several key fighters. Alien soldiers on the ground cheered at the small victory. It was the first time they had seen the Shadow Force falter. Commander 7, who had doubted humans from the beginning, could not hide his amazement. They are teaching us how to fight. They are turning simple tactics into deadly tools." Tala nodded. "Do not underestimate them. They do not fight for glory. They fight for others. That makes them stronger than most empires we know." Over the next cycles, humans continued to train alien forces. Scout teams led by John Miller mapped enemy movements, predicting ambushes before they happened. Lisa Brown coordinated communication between ships and ground units, ensuring no one was ever caught alone. Humans taught aliens how to move silently, strike together, and retreat safely when necessary. On the battlefield, the Shadow Force grew frustrated. They had never faced opponents who adapted so quickly. They struck, but humans and aliens were ready. When one wave attacked, humans used decoys and traps to turn the enemy against itself. When another wave came, coordinated energy pulses from human-engineered cannons destroyed the attackers without losing alien lives. Emma monitored shield outputs on a modified alien cruiser. "We can withstand more attacks if we stagger the energy," Timing is everything. The enemy will make mistakes. Nate flew another mission, this time with a mix of humans and aliens in his squadron. Follow my lead. Do not separate. If you move as one, nothing can break you. The alien pilots were nervous at first, but as they moved together, they saw their effectiveness grow. Even small human ships seemed to have immense power when combined with alien coordination. On the ground, alien civilians watched as humans fought alongside soldiers. They saw humans risking themselves, standing where danger was greatest and still protecting everyone else. Children whispered to each other, "They are brave. They do not run." Alex noticed a pattern in the enemy's attacks. "They are testing our limits. They send waves not to destroy, but to see how we respond. We will use that against them. We predict, we prepare, we act." The Shadow Force attempted a major strike on the capital city of Verida. Humans had prepared. Energy shields were placed in precise positions, escape routes were marked, and alien troops were stationed in hidden locations. Nate led a strike team to intercept enemy scouts before they reached the city. Emma's engineering team adjusted shields in real time, deflecting the first blasts. Human tactics began to inspire the aliens. They learned to act quickly, think ahead, and fight as one unit. Previously rigid alien strategies became flexible, adapting to human guidance. Every victory, even small, strengthened their confidence. Commander 7 admitted quietly to Tala, "I did not believe humans could do this. They are changing the way we fight. They are effective beyond my understanding." Tala smiled faintly. "Do not forget they fight for others. That is why they succeed. Power alone does not win wars. Courage and unity do." As the cycles passed, humans engaged the Shadow Force in multiple skirmishes. Each time they used strategy over brute force. They coordinated attacks, protected civilians, and minimized losses. Alien forces began to trust human judgment, following their plans with growing confidence. One day, Alex received an urgent message. A Shadow Force fleet was moving quickly toward an isolated settlement. If humans did not act, it would be destroyed. He called a meeting. "We must stop them before they reach the civilians. Plan carefully, act decisively." Nate grinned. "I have a few ideas. If we lure them into the asteroid field, we can cut down their numbers without risking the settlement." Emma nodded. "I can adjust the engines and shields of the alien ships to improve maneuverability in the field. They will be ready." John Miller mapped the asteroid paths. "We can predict their movements. They will not expect humans to use terrain like this." The plan was set. Humans led alien ships into the asteroid field, using decoys and feints to confuse the enemy. The Shadow Force pursued, unaware of the traps. Energy pulses, timed perfectly, struck enemy ships. They collided with asteroids or each other. Within hours, the fleet was in retreat. Tala watched from the city. "Humans are small, yet their impact is great. They teach by example, not words." Commander 7 could not argue. "We underestimated them. Our doubts were wrong. They are more than allies, they are a force of their own." Alex addressed his crew. "We fight because it is right. Every life we save matters. Strategy, patience, and courage win more battles than strength alone." Humans prove this every day. Even the Shadow Force began to notice. Their attacks became hesitant. They had never faced opponents who adapted so quickly, who thought ahead, who fought not for conquest but for protection. Humans and aliens together became more than a match for them. On the ground, civilians whispered of human bravery. They had seen small ships dive into danger to protect villages, had seen pilots risk themselves to destroy enemy scouts. Hope spread among the aliens. For the first time in many cycles, they believed they could survive. Alex watched the stars, thinking of the long journey ahead. "This is only the beginning," he told Lisa and Nate. "We are here to protect, to guide, to teach. We will face more dangers, but we will not falter." "Humans do not abandon those in need." Lisa smiled, adjusting her scanner. "And they will remember us for it. The galaxy will know humanity came when no one else would." The Shadow Force had been surprised, but they were not yet defeated. Humans had shown how to fight differently, how courage and planning could overcome fearsome enemies. The aliens had learned to trust in them, to follow their guidance, to fight in ways they never imagined. Through strategy, patience, and unwavering determination, humans were changing the course of the war. The galaxy had called for help, and humanity was showing it how to fight, how to survive, and how to win against impossible odds. And so, as the battles continued, humans became a symbol of hope. Small in number but strong in will, they led not with arrogance but with purpose. Every move, every plan, every sacrifice proved the same truth. When the galaxy called for help, humanity came, and they fought differently than anyone had ever seen. The Shadow Force had regrouped. Their losses were many, but they were not finished. They sent a massive fleet toward Verida, determined to crush both aliens and humans. This was the greatest test yet. The city's energy shields glowed under the approaching storm, and every soldier, human and alien, prepared for the fight of their lives. Captain Alex Carter called his officers to the bridge. "This is what we trained for. The enemy is stronger than before, but we are ready. We fight not because it is easy, but because it is necessary." Pilot Nate Parker checked his ship systems. "We have faced smaller waves, but this is different. The enemy is relentless." Engineer Emma Ross adjusted shield frequencies. "If we time it right, we can hold them off. Our ships may be small, but they are fast, and we know the terrain better than they do." On the ground, alien soldiers prepared for a possible invasion. Commander Seven walked among them, his usual skepticism replaced by a cautious respect. "Humans have taught us well," he said quietly. "We may survive this because of them." Tala moved through the city, comforting civilians and soldiers alike. "Do not lose hope," she told them. "Humans have come across the galaxy to protect us. Follow their lead, and we will endure." As the enemy fleet appeared, dark shadows against the stars, humans and aliens took their positions. Small human ships flew ahead, drawing enemy scouts into traps. Energy pulses struck with perfect timing, scattering the enemy and giving alien defenders a chance to organize. Nate led a squadron of mixed human and alien fighters. "Stay close, follow my lead, and watch for openings. Do not panic." Alien pilots, many still inexperienced, followed his calm commands. Together, they moved like a single unit, each maneuver precise, each strike coordinated. On the command ship, Alex monitored the battle. "Emma, adjust shields on the city. Nate, redirect some fighters to the left flank. Lisa, communicate with ground forces and keep them ready. Every second counts." Emma worked quickly, redirecting power to critical shields, protecting key areas of the city. She shouted over comms, "Shields are holding, but we need to weaken their formation. Time your strikes carefully." Human ground teams helped evacuate civilians from the city outskirts. John Miller and his squad ensured no one was left behind. Alien troops, inspired by human bravery, joined in without hesitation. Every life was valued, every person protected. The Shadow Force pressed harder, firing massive energy blasts at the city walls. Alien defenses alone could not withstand the attack. Humans moved in, using small, fast ships to intercept enemy fire, creating openings for alien ships to strike back. The coordination was perfect, each action supporting the next. Tala watched from the observation dome. "They are incredible. Humans are small, yet they make us strong. They are not just soldiers, they are teachers, guides, and protectors." Commander Seven finally admitted, "I misjudged them. Their courage is unmatched, their strategy flawless. They are the strength we lacked." Amid the chaos, humans faced personal danger. Nate's ship was struck by a heavy blast, systems failing. He guided it toward a safe zone, maneuvering through enemy fire with skill and calm. Emma's engineering team patched the damage remotely, keeping him in the fight. "You are not out yet, Nate. Stay with us," she said. On the ground, human and alien teams worked side by side. Civilians looked on in awe as humans led evacuations under fire, directing aliens to safe zones and standing between danger and the helpless. One young alien soldier whispered, "They do not fear death, yet they value life more than anyone I have seen." As the battle raged, Alex noticed a pattern. The Shadow Force was predictable in their aggression, relying on brute strength. Humans had anticipated this and set traps. Energy pulses, decoys, and feints created confusion, scattering enemy formations. Every small human ship seemed to have a power far beyond its size, because it was part of a larger, smarter system. Tala observed the enemy fleet's retreat. "The humans are teaching us to fight in ways we never imagined. They adapt, they plan, they do not give up." Commander Seven clenched his jaw. "I have seen many battles in my life, but nothing like this. Humans are extraordinary." Inside the human command ship, Alex spoke to his officers. "We hold the line, protect the civilians, and weaken the enemy. Focus on the mission, not fear. We are the shield for those who cannot defend themselves." Lisa monitored communications. "We have reports of isolated attacks elsewhere. Humans are already moving to assist. They never hesitate, even when danger is greatest. The Shadow Force tried a direct assault on the city's core. Massive ships fired energy beams, aiming to destroy the central command hub. Human interceptors flew into the path, diverting fire, while Emma coordinated shield adjustments to absorb the remaining blasts. John Miller led ground teams to reinforce weak points, ensuring that civilians and soldiers were protected. Nate flew low, dodging blasts, firing precise energy pulses at enemy ships. Alien pilots followed his lead, mimicking his maneuvers. Together, they created a wall of defense, buying time for the city to withstand the attack. After hours of intense fighting, the Shadow Force began to falter. Humans had anticipated their movements, prepared defenses, and coordinated every strike. Alien soldiers, inspired by human courage and strategy, fought with renewed determination. Even Commander 7 could not deny the truth. Humans were turning the tide. Tala spoke to her council. They are not just fighters, they are the heart of this battle. Without them, we would not survive. With them, victory is possible. Alex addressed his crew. Remember, this is more than a fight. This is protection, teaching, and survival. We are here to save lives, not conquer worlds. Every action matters. Every decision can change the outcome. As the Shadow Force retreated, human and alien forces worked quickly to repair damage. Civilians were safe and the city's defenses held strong. Humans moved among the aliens, offering guidance, encouragement, and reassurance. Their presence alone gave hope. Nate landed his fighter and joined a group of exhausted alien pilots. "You did well," he said. "We all did. Stay ready, they will return, but now we know we can fight together." Emma checked the shields and engines of her squadron. "We made it through. We learned, adapted, and survived. That is how humans fight." Tala walked among the citizens, speaking quietly to those who had witnessed the battle. "They came across the stars to protect us. They did not hesitate. We survived because they were here. We will never forget this." Commander 7, usually cold and rigid, finally smiled. "Humans have shown us something we did not know. Courage is not about size or strength. It is about will, determination, and caring for others." As night fell over the city, humans prepared for the next wave. They knew the Shadow Force would return, stronger and more relentless. Yet they did not fear. Their courage, skill, and unity made them unyielding. Alex looked at the stars, thinking of the battles yet to come. "We will face them again. We will fight, protect, and survive. Humans do not give up. We do not abandon those in need. We will be here no matter the cost." Lisa watched the city lights, feeling the weight of the day. "We are small in numbers but strong in purpose. That is what makes us human. That is why we came." The Shadow Force would strike again, but humans and their alien allies were ready. They had learned to fight differently, to adapt, and to protect. The galaxy would remember this day, the day humans held the line, faced overwhelming odds, and showed the power of courage and unity. And so, even in the face of fear and destruction, humanity proved once again that when the galaxy calls for help, they come. Not for glory, not for reward, but because it is the right thing to do. The universe had seen their will, their bravery, and their determination. The story of humanity in this galaxy was only beginning. The Shadow Force had retreated, but they were not gone. They regrouped far beyond the edges of Veritas' system, planning their final strike. Humans and aliens knew this attack would decide the fate of the galaxy. It was time for humanity to show the full strength of their courage, skill, and unity. Captain Alex Carter called his officers to the command room. "This is the final battle. The enemy is powerful, but they cannot match our strategy, our courage, or our will. We fight to protect, not to conquer. Every decision counts. Every action matters." Pilot Nate Parker checked his fighter. "We have been tested and we survived. Now we end this. We fight smart, we fight together, and we fight for everyone who cannot fight for themselves." Engineer Emma Ross adjusted the ship's systems. "All shields, engines, and weapons are ready. Timing will be critical. We strike as one." On the ground, alien soldiers prepared for evacuation and defense. Commander 7 walked among them. "We have learned from humans. We know how to fight differently. We are ready." Elder Tala moved quietly through the city, speaking to civilians. "Do not fear. Humans have come across the stars to protect us. Follow them, trust them, and we will survive." The human fleet moved into position, smaller than the Shadow Force but stronger in coordination and will. Alien forces joined, forming a combined armada unlike anything the enemy expected. The first wave of attacks came quickly, dark ships moving with speed and precision. Humans anticipated their approach, positioning ships in hidden paths and using decoys to confuse enemy sensors. Nate led the forward strike, flying between enemy ships and drawing them into traps. Alien pilots followed his lead, learning to move as humans did. Energy pulses struck at key enemy points, breaking formations before the Shadow Force could realize what had happened. Emma adjusted shield outputs on the main fleet. Timing is perfect. Every strike counts. We can hold them off while the aliens attack their flanks. John Miller and Lisa Brown coordinated ground defenses, ensuring civilians were safe and that alien forces were ready to move with human guidance. The humans acted with calm determination, unshaken by the enemy's numbers. Alex spoke to the fleet. Remember, we fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. We strike together, move together, and protect together. Courage will matter more than size. The Shadow Force sent massive ships to break through the defenses. Humans responded with speed and strategy, targeting key ships with precise attacks. Decoys drew enemy fire, while hidden human and alien units attacked from behind. Each move was planned, each action supported by the next. The enemy could not predict human tactics, and their numbers became a weakness instead of a strength. On the ground, alien soldiers watched humans guide reinforcements and protect the city. Even civilians helped, moving safely under human direction. They saw humans placing themselves between danger and those who could not defend themselves, risking life after life without hesitation. Tala observed quietly. They are more than warriors. They are hope. They do not fight for glory. They fight for life, for survival, for others. Commander 7 admitted, I have never seen courage like this. They are not the strongest, but they are unyielding. That is enough to change the outcome. The Shadow Force tried a desperate attack, sending their largest ships toward the city core. Human interceptors, guided by Nate and Alex, diverted fire while Emma adjusted shields to absorb the strongest blasts. Energy pulses and precision strikes disabled enemy ships one by one. John Miller led a team of ground specialists to protect civilians in the city center. Move quickly and stay close, he instructed. Humans are here to guide us, and we follow their lead. As the battle continued, humans and aliens moved together like a single unit. Every attack, every defense, every maneuver was coordinated. The Shadow Force, powerful but rigid, could not adapt. Humans used terrain, timing, and teamwork to overwhelm them without unnecessary loss of life. Nate's fighter was hit, systems failing. He guided it through enemy fire using skill and experience to stay in the fight. Emma patched the damage remotely. You are not out yet, Nate. Keep going, he smiled. Humans never quit, Alex addressed his fleet. We are not just fighting for survival. We are fighting to show the galaxy what humanity can do. We protect those who cannot protect themselves. We endure when others would flee. We fight and we win because we must. The Shadow Force began to falter. Key ships were destroyed, formations broken, morale low. Alien pilots, inspired by human bravery and strategy, pressed forward with renewed determination. Civilians cheered from safe zones. The city's defenses held strong. Tala walked among her people. They have come across the stars to save us. They risk everything. They fight for life. They are the hope we needed. We will survive because of them. Commander 7 could only nod. I misjudged them. Humans are extraordinary. They are not just allies. They are the reason we stand today. The final strike was carefully planned. Humans and aliens moved together, using combined energy pulses, traps, and precise attacks to destroy the Shadow Force fleet. Small human ships acted as decoys, while alien units attacked flanks. Timing and coordination were perfect. Within hours, the Shadow Force retreated, broken, and defeated. Alex spoke to his crew. We did it. Not because we are the strongest, but because we fought for the right reasons. We protected those who could not protect themselves. We endured, adapted, and prevailed. On the ground, civilians celebrated, hugging human and alien soldiers alike. Children ran to the humans, curious and amazed. One child whispered, "They came across the stars for us." Tala addressed her council and the people. Humans have shown us the meaning of courage. They did not fight for themselves, for power, or for glory. They fought for life. The galaxy will remember them, and so will we. Commander 7 stood quietly, reflecting on what he had seen. We have learned something greater than tactics or technology. We have learned about determination, courage, and selflessness. Humans are unlike anyone we have known. Alex watched the city lights and the stars beyond. Our journey is not over, but today we showed what humans can do. We act when others will not. We protect when others flee. We endure when others despair. That is humanity. Lisa monitored communications, reading messages from other alien worlds. They are calling us heroes. They see what humans have done. The galaxy will remember. Nate smiled, looking at his ship. We did what we came to do. We saved lives, taught allies, and defeated an enemy no one else would face. Humans never quit. Emma adjusted the systems one last time. We may be small, but together we are strong. We made a difference. The Shadow Force had been defeated, and the galaxy had learned a new truth. Humans, small in numbers but strong in courage, had crossed the stars when no one else would. They had protected the helpless, fought with strategy and will, and inspired those who had lost hope. Tala looked to the sky, knowing that humans had changed her world forever. We were saved because they came. We were saved because they acted when no one else did. Humanity will never be forgotten. As humans prepared to return to their own galaxy, alien leaders came to thank them. You fought not for reward, not for recognition, but because it was right, Tala said. We owe you everything, Alex nodded. We did what had to be done. You will survive because you have courage, and you will remember us because we answered when no one else would. The fleet departed slowly, leaving behind a galaxy that had been changed forever. Humans had shown what it meant to act with courage, purpose, and selflessness. They were not the largest or the strongest, but they were the most important because they came when others would not. Across the galaxy, whispers spread from world to world. Tales of humans who crossed the stars to help strangers, who fought bravely, and who protected life above all else. The story of their courage would be told for generations. Alex looked out at the stars, smiling softly. We did what humans always do. We act when it is needed. We fight for life, we survive, and we endure. Nate, Lisa, and Emma stood beside him. They had faced impossible odds, guided alien allies, and defeated a terrible enemy, yet they remained humble. We did not come for glory, Nate said quietly. We came to help. And so humanity returned home, leaving behind a galaxy that would never forget them. They had answered the call when no one else would, and their courage, skill, and selflessness had changed the course of history. The galaxy had cried for help, and only humanity came.